Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood as we continue this look into some Italian horror director Lucio Fulci's. We are talking all about his 1980s movies. Welcome. Deep exploring into the vast creative mind of one of the most famous Italian horror directors of all time. Welcome. Because up next, if y'all like European movies with deadly, evil-spirited black cats coming to scratch off your faces. If y'all like a girl named Jill who just wants to take a bunch of photography around and she gets messed up and some sort of like spiritual murders stuff. If y'all like a detective named Gordon who's trying to crack the case and get some booty at the same time. And if y'all like a crazy guy who talks to the dead and does a spirit in a cat and the cat kills, but then the cat takes him over, then this is the review for you, brother, because the Retro Blood is talking all about the black cat. Fulci's the black cat. There's a bunch of black cats out there, but this is the Fulci.
There are.
Welcome. J.H. Alison, James Kline, what's happening, Alison? How was your trip to not London, but a village outside of London?
Yeah, I like this movie, man. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun visiting England this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was awesome.
Speaking of visiting, if you all can see that I'm actually on assignment right now. And if you could tell, Allison's room is a little darker while mine is super bright because I am on assignment to pretty much like around the world.
Yeah, pretty much. You're on the other side of the world, yeah.
The other side of the world, man. The land down under. Australia. Over here, man. It's pretty crazy. So I'm out here, probably out here for the rest of this month. So y'all could see my super bright hotel room that I got staying over here. You know, people ask, well, James, why are you traveling so much? You know, it's because, I'm trying to find the mysteries of these European style horror movies. I thought if I would go to a European country as in Australia, I would find the deadly sins of these cat murderers myself.
Yeah, you're like traveling Matt from Fraggle Rock.
Yeah, exactly.
Except instead of sending a letter, we get on Discord every week and talk about movies.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we're not even on the same day, right? So it's a different day for you than it is for me because you're across the international date line. So
yes.
It's interesting. Yeah.
That's how we do, man. We're the Retro Blood, we're international right now, brother. All right.
We are. We're an international podcast.
We're all over the globe.
We are.
So this has been a fun month so far. Obviously, last week.
Yeah.
We
Conquest,
our 200th episode. Very fun one. Everybody go check it out. I know myself and Alison enjoyed that one tremendously.
I love that movie. Yeah.
So, we're getting deep into these Fulci movies. And, this one was, I think like this one was like his, like the art piece one, you know what I mean? Like the old Alfred Hitchcock style movie. You know what I mean? Like that very, European Hitchcock style movie. And, this black cat and stuff, we'll talk about it more during the history segment, but it was basically a short story from Edgar Allan Poe is pretty much what inspired this black cat story. And I believe it did a bunch of others. Like there's a bunch of movies called The Black Cat, like some of them in the 30s and the 40s. So it's a very popular Edgar Allan Poe story. And we're just seeing the Italian twist on it over here. Welcome. Which is fun.
Yes.
So,
like I was gonna say, like you were saying, like the Black Cat's been made into a movie many times, but most of it doesn't really have a lot to do with the actual story itself. I mean, the theme of it is the same, but nothing happens in it. Not most of the things that happen in it are exactly the same.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is. I think you're right. This is supposed to look like an old movie, right? I think it's supposed to look like an old like European movie, not a 1980s movie.
Yeah, I mean, like if this one kind of reminded me of The Birds. You know what I mean? Like, was it Hitchcock's Birds or something? Where they would focus on the eyes a lot, like boom, 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 eyes, and like you're staring at people, you're staring at the cat, blah blah blah. You know what I mean? So it had that very like older style like filming to it. This one was made in like what I believe 1981 or something like that.
1981, yeah.
So this is actually one of Fulci's like popular movies at the time too. So, but we'll get on to it. It's pretty. The history of it's kind of fun. So, but speaking of history, and this episode 201 is no different than all of our other episodes. Even if I'm across the world right now, me and Alison still talk about what is going on in the world of the pro wrestling and the metal music around the release date of the Black Cat, which I believe the one I found was the Italian release date. Pretty sure you did that one too, of April 4th, 1981 in Italy. All right. Now, this one did get released in the United States, but it wasn't released into the United States until February of 1984. So 3 years later, after this movie was released in Italy in 1981, 3 years later, the U.S. would get it. But since me and Alison are international travelers, obviously, we are going to do the Italian release date. So yours was kind of fun, Alison, because I don't know too much about it, but I can go over my wrestling that I found.
Yeah, good.
So we are back in WWF territory. All right. The World Wrestling Federation. It's around this time, April 4th, 1981. We're in the Agricultural Hall in Allentown, Pennsylvania. You ever been there, Alison?
I have never been to Allentown, but I heard a song about it. Billy Joel has a song called Allentown. So that's about everything I know about Allentown. Yeah. And I know that the WWF at the time ran shows there a lot.
Yes. Yeah, that was a big territory for them.
Yeah.
For the longest time, I would say.
Absolutely, yeah.
So this right here is the television taping. All right. Yeah. And there's some interesting matches on this one. And I would love to go find this card and actually watch it because it is actually a little fascinating. Some of the matches they got going on over here. So, okay. So there's a whole big card. So the first one I want to point out is the Moondogs. All right.
Okay.
Moondog King and Moondog Rex with Captain Lou Abando. They defeated Rick Martel and Tony Gurria to win the WWF Tag Team Championship on this night. So you have new tag team belt holders, brother.
That's kind of cool. I like the Moondogs. They're a cool group. Yeah, they remind me a lot of the Bushwhackers in some ways.
Yeah, yeah, they're like the Bushwhackers before the Bushwhackers were kind of like their thing. So,
right.
So the next two matches on this one were pretty interesting. All right. So we
can't wait for this.
Andre the Giant is back here on the Retro Blood.
Okay.
All right. And he is second from the top. And he is going on to face the Hangman. Welcome. All right.
Adam Page?
Not Adam Page, brother. That ain't going back in time. All right. He's facing the Hangman. Who has gone by a bunch of different names. He's gone by Big John the Quebec. Welcome. He's gone by Lumberjack, John Louis, John Perelusol, Lee Baru, Neil Guiu, Super Destroyer Mark III.
And he played two different Super Destroyers. Yeah.
And Alison's favorite, this should be a metal band, Towering Inferno.
Towering Inferno. Was he on fire when he came to the ring?
I don't know, but that'd been fucking awesome, bro.
Towering Inferno.
That's like an 80s thrash band. Towering Inferno.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. Yeah.
So
anyway, of course he did.
So our boy Super Mark Destroyer 3 didn't do as well. You know, he's trying. So, and the main event, which is another fun one. This one kind of goes with this movie, I guess. We have Don Muraco. All right, which is a big time superstar during 1981, especially for the WWF. He was around there everywhere, man. He was like all around this place in 1981. And he would go on to defeat the Black Demon. Welcome. What's your favorite Black Demon? Yeah, what's your favorite Black Demon?
Who is that? Is he a Mexican wrestler?
Yeah, it's a Mexican.
A luchador?
Yeah. Don Serrano, Hector Serrano, and Super Soul Davis.
Okay.
So
yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with Blue Demon, but not Black Demon. So maybe
Demon, yes.
I wonder if he's like an enemy of Blue Demon, possibly.
Could be, yeah.
I don't know.
I thought
but I mean, he's wearing a mask, I'm guessing.
Actually, in the photo I saw, he wasn't wearing a mask, but I'm not sure if he was wearing a mask. He probably was wearing a mask when he was the Black Demon. But I think when he went as Soul Davis and stuff, he didn't have the mask no more. He probably lost it in Mexico. Because those mask versus mask match were huge. Usually in Mexico, you have like the mask versus mask and the hair versus hair matches.
Right.
So both of them can be pretty fun.
Yeah, and it really depends. You can always tell who's going to lose those, right? Because if he's like near the end of his career, then he's going to lose his mask.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't wear a mask, then then the hair guy's going to lose always.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unless he has long hair, and then often he doesn't. Yeah. What is that? An Australian Gatorade you're drinking there?
Yeah, it's called Maximus. All right. I wonder if I can get bro. They could be a sponsor on here. Maximus.
Maximus. We get sponsored by Maximus in Australia. Australian Gatorade keeps you hydrated. Keeps you hydrated with no sugar.
It kind of tastes like God, what's that one over here that I get? It tastes similar to not Gatorade, but what's like the offshoot of Gatorade? Not
Powerade.
Powerade, yes. It tastes like Powerade, basically.
Okay.
Very, very similar. Even though this grape flavor is more grapey, I guess, than the Powerade version. So, but it's pretty good though.
Yeah, that's my complaint about Powerade is that their flavors are often too weak. The grape flavors are weak. It's hard to get a good grape hydration drink, but Maximus may be it.
Maximus is it, brother. So
yeah, she ships some of that stuff back to the States.
Yeah, brother. Yeah, if I can. They're like really they're like really crazy about that. Like you can only bring certain things in here and stuff because of their ecosystem and shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, watch out for those giant spiders and shit they have over there. Don't get eaten.
I know. I so far haven't seen any, but I'm pretty sure it's going to happen here and there. So I am doing more exploring after I get off the retro blood over here to do. I'm kind of like Miles a little bit. You know what I mean? I walk through. I just walk to places and I try to talk to the dead, like my boy Miles was. Hopefully I can go through a creepy, cool graveyard like he did, though. That'd be awesome. You know what I mean?
But maybe you should. Don't we have a bunch of Australian listeners? Maybe you should try to meet up with them.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, if anybody hit this retroblood69@gmail. If y'all listen to us from Australia, I will be here for probably a month. So hit me up, retroblood69@gmail. Let me know the cool spots to go to. I did go to this bar called Mosh Pit last night, and it was okay. It's kind of like a rocker bar. So if anybody else has any recommendations, let me know. So, but Alison, when it comes to music, give us some recommendations of what was going on around April of 1981. What was happening?
So it's interesting. So like when I was looking up some stuff to talk about, like I can't really believe we haven't talked about this band before. At least I don't think we have. So the band I'm talking about today is a metal band called the Tigers of Pantang. Tigers is spelled with a Y.
Nice.
So they're like a, I mean, they're not a hugely known band, but they're like one of those bands that influenced a bunch of other bands. They're like your favorite band's favorite band kind of bands. We've talked about those kind of groups before. They were a new wave of British heavy metal band. And the album that we're talking about is their second album, which is called Spellbound.
Spellbound.
So Yeah, Spellbound has a really cool heavy metal cover. It's painted and it's got like a tiger, and he's sitting on a cliff, like looking like he's going to jump to another cliff with a big full moon behind him.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a were tiger, I guess. I don't know. It's cool. It's cool cover. So they released 2 albums in 1981. This was the first one. It was recorded in January and released in April, which is really quick turnaround time for a record. But this is the first album. The reason I want to talk about this is because it's the first album that they released that featured John Sykes.
Okay.
And I've talked about John Sykes before. He's one of my favorite guitar players of all time. He's one of those underrated guitar players that nobody talks about. But we've talked about him in the context of Thin Lizzy. He was in Thin Lizzy the next year. So he spent a little bit, basically a year in Tigers of Pantang. And then he left because he became friends with Phil Lynott from Thin Lizzy. And then he was in Thin Lizzy for a year or so. And then he was in another band with Phil Lynott after Thin Lizzy broke up. But for this point, he had joined Tigers of Pantang. And he is, how would I describe him? Like his guitar playing, he's like a really fast heavy metal guitarist. Like he's just like a shredder before that term existed, I guess. Like he's just an incredible guitar player. It's got this album is just full of like crazy guitar solos. He actually auditioned to be in Ozzy Osbourne's band right before this, but they picked Randy Rhoads instead. Of course, because Randy Rhoads is a god. But basically he had auditioned to be in Ozzy's band, but he ended up joining Tigers of Pantang instead. And then left that band to join Thin Lizzy. And then after Thin Lizzy, he was in Whitesnake. So he was in the rejuvenated Whitesnake, the one that wrote and recorded the famous album, whatever it's called, the one with Still of the Night and all that stuff. He wrote and played guitar on that album, but then got fired before they did the tour. So he's not in any of the music videos or anything, but he played on the album entirely. But anyway, back to Spellbound. So Spellbound it's an album where a lot of the songs have been covered by other people. Creator covered one of their they covered the song Gangland from this album. The song Heathen, the thrash metal band Heathen had covered one of their songs. So they were like one of those bands that like really influenced the thrash bands that we like a lot, like Testament, Heathen, Creator, Metallica, of course, Megadeth. So they were this band was one of those bands, along with Iron Maiden, that were a huge influence on thrash metal that we would get like 3 or 4 years later after this. But I mean, this is a great album. I know I sent it to you real like last minute. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to it or not, but you should. You would love this album. This is like right up your alley. I mean, it's not hair metal, but it has that like.
Welcome.
I was going to say thrashy, but it's proto thrash, like it's pre-thrash. Like thrash didn't exist yet, but it has this like thrashy feel to it. Like, how do I describe this? You know, like some of those bands, like Testament is an example, I guess, where they have the real high vocals in the thrash, the thrash metal bands that have the real high vocals. So they kind of got that, I think, from this band, because their singer has this really, really high voice, but it's not like Queensryche and it's not like hair metal. It's just like this high Bruce Dickinson, Rob Halford, kind of like real high voice with the really fast drums and the really fast guitar solos. But yeah, I mean, it's an relatively unknown to the mainstream band and album. But yeah, Tigers of Pantang, Spellbound. I mean, this is a really good album, and you should definitely listen to it while you're driving around the Australian outback or whatever it is you're doing over there.
On the wrong side of the road.
On the wrong side of the road, yeah. I'm going to go to Outback later and have a steak, and it'll be kind of similar to what you're doing.
Speaking of that, like just really
quick, do they have blooming onions there? Asking.
Okay, hold on. So, like, speaking of that, like I was at that bar last night, the Mosh Pit bar, and I was asking the people there. I was like, "Yo, like, is Outback like a big thing over here?" And they're like, "No, we have like maybe one of them here." I was like, "Come on, bro." It's like, that's the only thing I know about Australia. I know Outback, I know that one dude that got killed by the jellyfish.
Yeah, it's oh God, what is that guy's name? Steve.
The
Steve. Yeah, he got killed, or Stingray. He got killed by a Stingray. Steve, I don't know. I can't remember. It's not. It's escaping me. But yeah, he's the crikey guy.
The crocky guy, the alligator hunter guy. All right. I was like the only thing I knew about Australia at the time. Then, of course, I knew about their kangaroos and wildlife and stuff. But yeah, I was asking, bro. I was like, it's like, bro, what can I get myself a blooming onion? They're like, we don't care about any of that shit. So, but yeah, like, Spellbound, that's pretty interesting, man. Like, there's a lot of those bands out there that are like before their time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like a lot of they pretty much influenced a lot of, popular bands, of the genre. So it's pretty cool. Like, we'll definitely play some of them. Hopefully, we can get their name out there some more. But I always like finding those bands that are like the underground bands that influenced some of our favorite bands. So we could see, like, where they're coming from, and just hear it all out. So yeah, I haven't heard any of Spellbound before. I've heard the name, but I don't believe I listened to any of their tracks before. So I'll definitely check that out while I'm roaming the Aussie. The Sydney.
Yeah, the Aussie.
All right. While I'm roaming out here. Maybe when I'm at the zoo, I'll play one of them kangaroos, some of the Spellbound, see if they like them. You never know.
See if maybe you can box a kangaroo while you're there, like Matt Hardy.
Yeah, there you go. So, we definitely check it out. We'll play some out this episode. But it's very cool to find bands that are like underground, but they influenced your favorite bands. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we can kind of see where the music is evolving from. So. Speaking of involving, let's go talk about who booked this shit, brother. All right. The Black Cat.
Who booked this shit?
So we definitely know the director, Fulci. All right.
Yep.
Was all over this one. It says on here that this is it was directed by Lucio Fulci. But it was also written by Fulci too, but it was co-written with Fulci and I'm gonna fuck up this name like I always do.
That's gonna be great.
Biagio Proietti? Did I say that right?
Close enough. I would say it's Biagio.
That's right.
Proietti.
I guess more Italian when I say my shit.
Yeah.
Biagio Proietti. All right.
Yeah, I just try to say it like Super Mario would say it, and that's what I do for Italian names. I'm not really familiar with really any of his movies, to be honest with you. I was looking up this other stuff that he wrote.
Yeah.
The only movie that I'd really heard of that he wrote is The Killer Reserve 9 Seats, which I've never seen, but I am familiar with it. And that's about it. But yeah, he wrote this with Fulci. So as we talked about, was it Conquest or Anima, where he didn't write it at all? He just directed it. I can't remember one of the two.
That was last week. That was Conquest.
Conquest. So so he was basically he was basically hired to direct that. But this is more of a Fulci production, if you will. Like Yeah, and you can tell the difference. Like, I mean, I love Conquest, but you can tell the difference. This feels like a Fulci movie. It feels like Beyond or House by the Cemetery or any of the other movies that we've done by him.
Yeah, like his movies have like this like slower pace to them, but they do build up to the tension. Kind of like. And he does like doing the mystery. Well, it's kind of like an Italian thing, like kind of like the murder mystery in a way.
Gallows, as they call it.
Yeah, Gallows. Yeah, this one wasn't like a super murder mystery, even though it was. But, the audience knew who the killer was the whole time. Like we knew it was the fucking cat, but they're uncovering why is the cat, killing these people stuff.
I love that we got Killer Vision back this time, but it's it's Cat Vision. Yeah,
it's Cat Vision.
That's awesome. Cat Vision.
So, like I was saying, the film is loosely based on the 1943 story of the same name by Edgar Allan Poe, and they're saying that this movie also uses the violent style that typified the director's later career, following films like "Don't Torture a Duckling." So
I don't think this movie is as violent as some of his other ones, though.
No, I don't think so. Well, I guess
for sure.
Maybe at the time in 1981, compared to what he was doing, this is like more of a
Mhm.
violent movie. But later on in the 80s, he
Maybe.
was a lot more violent because his whole House of Cemetery and fucking Zombie and all that shit was way more violent than this movie.
Yeah, but I mean, Zombie was the year before this,
Yeah.
and New York Ripper was right around this time. But yeah, I mean, it does have that style though. It's just not quite as violent, but it does have that style.
It's true. So the film has an original shooting title, which was called The Cat of Park Lane. There you go.
Not as good as The Black Cat.
Yeah. So it was shot on locations in the village of West Wonkabee, Hamilton, and Becklehamshire, and film studios in Rome. Filming took place between August 11th and September 28th of 1980. All right. Let's see if we can find some fun stuff about the trivia. All right. So a couple things. The role of Professor Miles was offered to Peter Cushing, but he refused to accept the part because of director Lucio Fulci's reputation for making gory horror films.
No. So
yeah.
Interesting. So Peter Cushing, other than playing Grand Moff Tarkin in Star Wars, he was in all those Christopher Lee Dracula movies, which I mean they're not as gory as Fulci movies, but I mean he like had a whole career of making horror movies, but he wouldn't make a movie with Fulci because they were too gory, I guess.
Maybe he doesn't like Fulci's like when they had the melting skin or the melting eyeballs.
Yeah.
Maybe he was scared there might be a fetus sack killing him in this movie. You never know.
Sack. Wow. I'll never forget that. But anyway.
That's in the archives, everybody. The Island of Blood. Check it out.
Yeah.
So Dagmar Lassander was almost killed filming the fire scene when a breakaway wall fell on her. Welcome. All right, so that's the girl who played the redhead. Welcome. Mm-hmm. And I guess she almost got killed in that fire scene because the wall almost hit her. That sucked. So it also says Lucio Fulci stated on numerous occasions that this film was actually directed as a favor to the producer. He's like, oh, brother, I just did it for a favor. You know what I mean? I just did that. I'm a nice guy like that. Mm-hmm. Interesting.
I see that a lot. We see that a lot from these movies from this era where they're wasn't a movie they were going to make, but they did it because they owed a favor to the producer or the studio or whatever, or to get out of a contract or whatever. But yeah.
So this right here, I wish this happened because it would have been fucking awesome. Welcome. Even though the guy who played Professor Miles, I'll get his name here a little bit. He wasn't bad. He looked kind of creepy looking. He had really cool looking British eyes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But check this out. The role of Professor Miles was originally intended for Donald Pleasant. Fuck.
Wow.
Loomis himself on here? Imagine him.
Yeah.
It's the cat. I shot the cat 6 times.
6 times.
God, he's a maniac. Oh my God. Bro,
He's going to kill us all. Yeah.
So we got this one. God, we might have to do this for Halloween and Lights Out. But that Halloween 6 Curse of Michael Myers.
Yeah.
That was the last film that Donald Pleasant, I guess, actually filmed before he passed away, unfortunately. Brother, this guy, in the Halloween series we talked about, you can check it out in the archives. The true maniac was Loomis. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we talk about that all the time.
From the first movie to the fourth movie, this guy to the first movie to the fifth movie, he goes insane each movie except for 3 because it wasn't in there. But he goes insane each time. And then when you get to number 6, he's like this calm old guy. He's like, man, I'm so beaten up. I don't give a fuck anymore.
Yeah, I mean, and Halloween 1 and 2, he's crazier than Michael Myers is.
No, exactly. Oh God! But that'd been awesome, bro. I always like seeing Donald Pleasant in pretty much anything. So I think he would have done pretty good in this film.
Hell yeah, he would have.
He's probably busy during this time. He's probably making Halloween 2 during this time because
I was about to say this was 1981, so probably he's making Halloween 2.
Yeah, well, he was doing probably something because it was made in 1980, and I don't think he filmed Halloween 2 until 1981. But he was definitely probably he was probably doing, some movie during this time that allowed him not to do
Sure.
this film. All right, so during filming, a woman rushed to a group of actors dressed as a policeman to seek aid after a car accident. The actors, who didn't speak English, couldn't understand the woman's plea for help, while she mistakenly believed they were real police officers. So that happened.
Oh, how convenient.
Yeah, they're like, just like, hey, I'm just an actor, lady. I don't know what the hell you're doing. All right. So this says this is the only Lucio Fulci film released in theaters in Spain of his best period dedicated to horror movies, 1979 and 1984. Yeah, so it looks like, this is like one of the all right, I guess only one of his movies that got released in Spain during this time. And, with a lot of Fulci films, for us in America, like his films didn't really come out until like 2 or 3 years later after they were already made and stuff. So,
right.
interesting stuff.
If we were lucky.
Yeah. So, nowadays it's super sweet because, it's 2025 and we can find all this stuff on like Prime, Tubi, especially Tubi, man. They got like a shit ton of
Tubi's
Italian
great
on there.
Yeah.
So they got everything
Tubi
on there.
Man, like I want to shout out Tubi because Tubi is great. I mean, it's free. I mean, you get ads, but it's free. Yeah. And it's not just shit either. Like they have some like really good obscure horror movies, European horror movies, obscure American movies, a lot of like martial arts, kung fu movies from like the 60s and the 70s that are great. Tubi's awesome. Yeah. This one was on Shudder, but Tubi's awesome.
Yeah. So another thing I want to bring out that doesn't have to relate to this movie, but there is like another Black Cat movie that we might have to do later on here on the Retro Blood, because apparently there's a Demons 6 movie. It's called Demons 6, The Black Cat, brother. I'm like, what the hell? I never heard of this before, ever. All right. And
when did that come out?
1989. All right.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that
and
for sure.
And it's made by Luigi Cozio.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to check this one out because I never heard of this and it looks fantastic. So we're about to put that one in the rotation here.
For sure.
So it's pretty cool. Yeah. Like, the Black Cat, it's been a story in a movie that's made, a ton. Like there's a ton of, like we were saying, like there's a ton of Black Cat movies in the 30s and 40s and stuff. Let me see what the earliest one is. Yeah, there's like there's one that was made in 1934, and then there's one that was made in 1941, and then this one was made in 1981, and then there's another one. We have Demon 6, The Black Cat, 1989. Then we have the Black Cat movie, 1991. We have the Black Cat movie, 1990. Two Eyes of Evil. I mean, there's a ton of different Black Cat, movies with the killer cats and stuff.
Yeah, plus the one Argento directed for Two Evil Eyes. Yes,
that's the one. Yes.
But yeah, I mean, well, the Black Cat though, that is just such a what's the word? It's like a profound like symbol, right? Yeah. I mean, the Black Cat's always been a symbol of bad luck, and to the extent that that they're in our country, United States, that there are crazy people who kill black cats because they think they're evil.
Yes.
Because there are people that are that fucking insane. But the Black Cat is just such a good symbol for mystery and evil and curses and things like that, witches, things like that. So yeah, it's great to use that as it's easy to use that as a symbol is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Like you were saying, the Black Cat's always been known to like, very, very gothic when it comes to like witchery, rituals, obviously what you're saying, if you see a black cat cross the road, you'll have bad luck. They're on like, culty t-shirts, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You got like crazy cat eyes that freak people out and stuff. So very interesting.
Essentially anything that scares people or, scares like religious people, the Black Cat kind of symbolizes. So it's easy to use that.
Exactly. But everybody, I say we get to the main course of Retro Blood 201. Let's talk
Yep.
all about Fulci's The Black Cat.
Let's do it.
We need each other. We are bound together by hatred. He wants to kill me.
But he's only a cat.
A cat that sooner or later will kill me.
The daughter's death was an accident which we haven't managed to explain. An epidemic of accidents, and all of them pretty weird.
Death is not the end of everything. Just the beginning of a new journey. I want to speak with them.
But there are limits, barriers.
We set up those barriers in self-defense. Perhaps we hold possibilities within ourselves we are not aware of. Powers we ourselves don't understand.
Maybe we don't want to, because we're terrified.
I have such powers, and I'm not terrified.
You haven't got me out of bed just to look at me.
Well, I think it's a good idea.
Well, I hope you've got a better one.
Better, but not so good. No, I need some more information on your theories about cats.
Not cats. One cat.
All right, one cat. A killer cat.
For you, it's a theory. For me, it's a certainty.
He would have to have thought it out.
In the case of the two kids, it was the cat also.
They'll think we're crazy if we say it's a cat.
It wasn't the first time I've kept an eye on him. Last night, there he was at the cemetery.
You actually heard him talking to the dead?
God knows what you're capable of seeing when you've had a few.
But I tell you, I did.
All right. So we start off the film with a good old chap walking around the good old streets of not London, but outside London's village.
Of not London, yes.
Very, very European there, Alison. You don't know. You don't know nothing about that European style.
No,
American.
no. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you're so much more European than I am as you as you traverse the European streets of Australia.
Exactly, bro. This is, like, it's pretty funny. It's pretty fun, like walking into a whole new country and stuff, walking around because you're like, where's all the American stuff at? And like when you find an American place, you're like, what the hell is this doing here? You know what I mean? Because they have, in Australia, where I'm walking around right now, they have like Subways and Pizza Hut and KFC and McDonald's, but it's pretty cool because like the menu's all different, or like sometimes it's the same, sometimes it's different. The biggest thing is like when you travel to outside the US, their McDonald's is like way better.
Oh, of course it is.
Everywhere else except for the US. Even though I can go on a rant about this, even though every time I ask for a fucking iced coffee, I ask for a large, and this shit is medium. It's not fucking large. Only in the good old US of A did they give us the big ass ones.
Well, yeah, because our serving sizes are so much larger. So, like, you get like if you get a large, you get like a gallon of soda or whatever.
Exactly.
Whereas there, everything's smaller. I mean, even I don't know. Have you been in the Starbucks yet? I don't know if it's different, but as you know, being an American, the Starbucks here, like all of the sizes mean large, basically. But anyway, so the McDonald's there probably has real food in it as opposed to the McDonald's here.
They even have like this like ham sandwich. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Wow,
at McDonald's?
That sounds awesome. Want a McDonald's ham sandwich. Anyway, continue.
So speaking of a guy, maybe he was looking for McDonald's. This guy who was walking around, because he was walking around like he looked kind of confused. All right. So he gets in his car, and he's driving down the wrong side of the road, the right side, which I've been driving around this whole time. Shout out to our European listeners. I'm just like messing with you. It's not too bad. Like once you drive on the right side of the road, like you kind of get used to it. It just like every once in a while, like when you stop, like I'm like I want to go into the left lane, but you got to stay into the right one. So
yeah, what was really hard for me when I went to England was I didn't drive when I was there, but remembering to look the right way when I crossed the street.
Yeah.
Because I would look against flow of traffic because of I would expect the car to come from a different direction.
Yeah.
So I would instead of looking to my right, I looked to my left and then step out in the hopes that nobody hit me. But yeah. Anyway, be careful crossing the street over there.
Yeah, be careful. Now our boy in the car, he was not careful at all.
He was not.
So apparently, there's a couple of things I've noticed. First of all, he freaks out because he sees some cat eyes. He's like, "Oh, that's not right." And then I guess the cat hypnotized him. So he ran into. Did you see this?
Yeah.
He ran into another car, and then there was like a second delay, and then his head just popped out of the car. And then, like, I was thinking, brother, I know we're in like 1981 in like Europe, but like, did they not have fucking airbags?
No. I bet they did not have airbags.
There's like, we don't.
I don't know if America had airbags in 1981, but yeah. So no airbags. So the guys had to fly out the car. But yeah, so the cat's in the back seat, kind of, right? And then he uses his super black cat powers to hypnotize him or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then it crashes, and then literally it's like a second, like he crashes, and then head pops out, and he blows up.
Yep. Fantastic.
So that's our first victim. So then after all this happens, then we get a whole big scene of I call it RPG music. If y'all been listening to me for a while. Like, those old school like RPG games you played on PlayStation and Nintendo?
Yeah.
All these Italian films have this RPG music, which is fantastic. It reminds me of my childhood. So we get an RPG music with the cat just walking around. That's
so while we're on the subject of the movie, of the music. So the music in this movie was done by Pino Donaggio, who we talked about before. He did the music for Blowout when we did that movie.
Yes.
He's done a bunch of other stuff too. He did Dress to Kill. He did The Howling, which hint might come up on the show later on this year, possibly.
Maybe.
But he did the music for that as well. But anyway, he's a great composer of quote unquote RPG music, I guess. Yes. But I love his soundtracks a lot. He's a great composer.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stuff. I liked it. Music was always good in these films.
RPG music.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Come on, bro. You don't think so? Anyway. So now
I see what you're saying.
Now the cat goes into the house where apparently the cat lives. And this is when we meet the old man, Professor Miles, who is listening to some ritual Halloween mixtape.
Sure.
Did you hear this tape?
That was great. It was awesome.
Brother, I swear I had this tape. I swear I bought it from Party City. All right. Where like you have the Halloween noises, like you'll hear a girl screaming, and then you'll hear you'll hear screaming, and then you hear a kid's voice. Hey, I'm a kid. I'm saying some creepy shit, bro. It sounded like just like this Halloween tape I bought, and that's what he was listening to. Now we're fine. At first I put ritual music, all right, but he's listening to his Halloween spirit ritual music tape, and we're gonna find out that the Professor Miles, he's a medium. He can talk to the dead. There, Alison. And I was thinking, is this the kid from The Sixth Sense?
Maybe he's the kid from The Sixth Sense granddad.
There you go. Could be, man.
Maybe. But yeah, he records, as we'll find out, he records these tapes at the tombs of dead people.
Yeah. It's pretty
at cemeteries. Yeah. That's super metal. Yeah.
It's like a black metal thing, bro. I'm surprised no black metal has done that yet.
I know. Record their album in a cemetery. Oh, I'm sure. I bet that's been done. Surely that's been done.
It has to. All right. So now we see a blonde lady. Was she from London or the Americas? I thought they said she was from Americas, but I'm not sure. Jill.
Not Jill. Yeah. I'm pretty sure she was an American. Mimsy Farmer, the woman that played her, is an American. So I'm pretty sure she was from America. Yeah.
So Jill goes down to a tomb, very European looking tomb. All right.
Yeah. Yes.
She sees a fake skeleton.
Mhm.
And then she comes up and this police guy, the blonde police guy. All right. We're going to have a couple police officers on here. This is the blonde one. Talks to her, says, I didn't mean to frighten you and stuff. And then, he's also saying, the dead probably want to be left alone and stuff. All right.
She's,
go ahead.
I think it's weird that you can go down into a tomb like that and take pictures of dead people.
Yeah. Because that's what she does. Jill is a photographer. Right. All right. She's taking pictures. So we find out that we're outside of London. All right. And then apparently the cop left something behind, but it's not a big deal. All right. So now we see a couple and they're making out on the boat, brother. That's what I want to see. That's the Italian movies I want to see, brother. All right. We have another boat creep up on them. It's a whole family. And then the guy's like, this ain't private. How am I supposed to fuck you right here? Let's go to a secret hiding spot. All right. So they dock, all right, at this location. And the guy is like, this place is going to be perfect. All right. And the girl thinks it smells a little bit. And it's like, don't worry about it. This is like a room where they keep like fishing equipment and shit. All right. And then first she's like, well, it's kind of weird in here. There's no windows. He's like, they don't need no windows. We got the AC. What's the problem? All right.
Yeah, it's an airtight room, which they decide to have sex in for some reason.
Yes. Well, they don't want to be bothered, man. Our boy over here, he needs his privacy when he's banging some hot Italian woman. I could feel that.
Yep.
All right. So now she's not liking it, but then he kisses her and then he locks the door. All right. And then he says, I guess it's like a European thing. He says, you got to take this key if you want to escape.
I say we.
Is that a European thing?
I guess. I don't know. She was all digging it though. She's like, all right.
She was into it. Yeah.
So now, after they start kissing everything, all right, we see some cat vision. By the way, if y'all want to drink, because we all like drink, cat vision would be the good one because we do see a lot of cat vision on here.
A lot of cat vision. Cheers.
So then we see. So for some reason, though, when we saw the cat vision, I don't know if you caught this, Alison. It sounded like some stock demon footage, like not footage by sound, like a demon sound.
Yeah, I agree. They added this weird like demon sound effect to it.
Yeah, it's very interesting
to make the cat scarier. Yeah.
I say we.
All right, so now the cat, I guess, took the key from the room and turned off the lights and broke the AC vents. So now the kids are both stuck in this room with no key to get off and the AC is gone and they're stuck. All right. So now we have another couple wanting sex. All right. But the redhead girl, which is going to be the mom of the girl who's stuck in the room, is checking on her kid. There's no one in there. All right. And then we cut to a graveyard at nighttime. All right. And then we have Miles looking around this really cool outside of London graveyard with a bunch of smoke everywhere. He goes to the grave of the dead car guy. He's looking intensely at the grave with his eyes. Like European eyes. They're like,
right.
Am I doing it right?
Exactly. Yeah. That's yeah.
So how you do it?
That's exactly it.
All right. Y'all gotta watch video for cool shit like that, right?
I know. Yeah, on the YouTubes.
Yeah, on the YouTubes. So there's another dude staring at. By the way, they barely named anybody here, so if I say dude or I didn't get everybody's name. All right. There's this other guy, town guy, staring at Miles, watching what he's doing. We have the cat staring at Miles, watching what Miles is doing, and Miles is basically staring intensely at the graveyard and recording the graveyard because remember that's where he gets his Halloween spirit tape from. It's from Graveyard.
Right.
All right. So we got all that. All right.
Yep.
So now we have the redhead, the mom. All right. She gets on the phone with the cops, and there's no sign of her daughter Laura. Or Lori, sorry. All right. That's Lori is the girl who is trapped in there with the titties.
Yeah.
All right. And then we go back and we see that now that Laura and her squeeze are both foaming by the mouth and sweating. So they're basically suffocating in there.
Yeah, which I guess is what happens when you suffocate. You foam at the mouth, I suppose. I guess so.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
it
not a
can
doctor,
happen.
but I don't think that happens. But anyway, it's shocking.
Who are you to question the black
yeah,
cat there, Alison?
Exactly. Yeah,
This is
Fulci probably knows more about that
This
than
is
I do.
Fulci's work there, brother. All right. So now we see a motorbike person goes all around the London area, outside of London area, on his motorbike. He gets
really fast.
He gets stopped by the blonde cop. Says, "Hey, you're going over the speed limit." He's like, "Well, my name is Gordon. I'm from Scotland Yard."
Yeah.
I feel like every time I watch some of these, like, British movies, like every cop is from Scotland Yard.
Well, Scotland Yard is like, you might call it the FBI of Britain. Like it's, it's they're the super detectives. But yeah, his name is Gorley, and he's like a super cop. Apparently, he's like the Gorley. Yeah, he's like he's like Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon or whatever. Yeah. He's like this, So he comes in like 900 miles an hour on his motorbike, and he's coming in to solve the case because these regular local cops can't figure shit out. So here's where we are.
So they talk about the missing couple, and then he also wants to see the American girl's photos. And the other cop's like, should I give you a ticket here or send it to Scotland Yard?
I say we.
So now we have the guy who was spying on Miles. All right, is telling his bar friends that he was talking with the dead with a tape recorder. All right. And now Jill overhears this, and she wants to talk to Miles, and they're warning him, don't talk to him, he's a creep. And of course, what does she do? She talks to Miles. All right. And now we see the scene of them, Jill and Miles meeting, and she's asking him about, talking to the dead, everything. He's like, well, that's what a medium does. I talk to the dead.
Right. I talk to the dead.
Yeah. So he goes over the powers that all, humans have. It's like the old thing. Like he uses more of his brain than the rest of us. So now that's why he has super dead people powers, because he uses more of his brains. He's not terrified of his powers. And of course he does the old dead is not the beginning. It's only the beginning of the journey.
Yeah, of course.
Lon says, Spawn says, you're frightening me a little bit. And he's like, I didn't know you were superstitious. Of course not. You just met me, asshole. What do you think?
Of course not. Right. How would you know that?
Now, Miles starts looking at her like this. Am I doing it right?
Yep. That European way. Yeah. Yeah. So when you film your European style movie, you need to make all the scenes like that, where you're like looking like with your big eyes in the camera.
Just eyes.
That's great.
You're a lovely girl. I'm wondering if I could do this while like doing my eyes like this. He was all like, you're a very lovely girl.
Yeah, not creepy at all.
I'm going to hypnotize you now. All right. Look into my eyes. All right. All right. And it's all like saying, I can command you to do anything. You won't be aware of anything. And then right when he was going to take over her mind, body, and soul, the black cat attacks him. All right. And then Jill's like, you got to attack. All right. He's like, yeah. And then Miles like, yeah. The cat hates me.
Yeah.
He's doomed to kill me, and I know it. I can't do anything about it. So it's all right. That's what he was like. I was like, okay. He's like, we're bonded by hatred. All right. So now we have some drunk guy, okay, who was the guy who spied on Miles and stuff. Now he's getting attacked by the black cat. Very European, I put in my notes.
Yes, very.
So he's getting attacked by this cat. He gets away. All right. But now the cat knows how to open doors. There you go, Alison. I bet your cat doesn't open no doors.
You might be surprised.
Oh, you actually have a cat? I was making it now. Anyway, so this cat opens.
What do you got to say? So what? You want to fight about it?
There you go. Is there a black cat or is it a white cat?
No. No, it's Garfield. It's orange.
Yeah, brother. You don't see an orange cat doing no crazy shit, do you? Come on now. All right. So now this guy is trying to get away from the cat. He's climbing all over this area and stuff. And eventually he's trying to climb away, and the cat comes to him, scratches his hand, and then he falls down to his death and gets spiked. So there he goes. All right. So now we're back with Jill. Okay. And this is when the detective from Scotland Yard, what was his name? Gillius?
Gorley
is there. Okay. And he's asking for Jill's help because he knows that she's a photographer and he wants her to take photos of the dead body for him. And I'm like, is that legal? Can you just like get a random photographer to take dead bodies for your crime? I guess you could back in 1981. All right.
Yeah.
All right. So now they talk about the drunk guy falling. Said it was probably just an accident. He was falling. And this is when Jill takes a photo of the guy's hand. She notices that there was a cat scratch marks on it. And she thought that was kind of weird. All right. And then she remembers, too, that the cat was attacking the old guy. So she's seen 2 cat scratches over here. So Miles is listening to his Halloween spirit tape again. He gets a visit from the redhead. All right. And apparently him and the redhead had a fling a long time ago. And the redhead saying, you can come back to me, or I'll come back to you and do whatever you want if you can find my daughter. And then he's going on saying, well, that was a long time ago. I don't want to do that, but I'll help out. Try to find her daughter. All he needs is an object. So he grabs the Laura's ring. All right. And now he starts having some medium visions of her death. All right. Kind of like a fortune teller. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So he's seeing a bunch of flashbacks and he's saying can't breathe. And he says that there's a key on the tarp. And now the mom knows where to find him at. All right. So the mom now brings all the cops, all right, Gorley and all of them. And they look at the room where the kids were stuck in. Red knows to find the key at the tarp. So they show the key to them.
Right.
And the guy who owns the place, only said, like, I usually keep my key right here. And only me and the Scott guy knew about it. Scott was the other guy who was in the room. So they open up the room and they see the 2 dead bodies. And now the red girl freaks out because her daughter's dead. All right. So we have Miles. All right. He's looking around his creepy house.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could do that. Just look around my creepy house. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Creepy houses are cool.
Play some Halloween spirit tapes and look around my creepy house.
On your reel-to-reel tape player. Yeah, that would be cool.
Awesome. All right. So now he gets a message from the cop. And the cop is like, how did you know that the key was on the tarp and everything? Mm-hmm. He's like, well, because now Miles, he got called to the crime scene, and he said he'll come over there after wandering around his creepy house. So the cop is asking him, how did you know the tarp key, the tarp is on here? And he's like, well, my suspect and everything. He's like, did you see it from your magical powers?
Oh, right? Burn.
Yes. And then, basically the cop was saying, listen, I'm not really saying that you're a suspect because, you can't fit into the grill over here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And the cop was like, basically the only evidence we have is the door locked itself inside. All right. And he's like, well, maybe it was a suicide. He's like, no, it can't be a suicide because the key was outside. So whoever did this had to go through the grill, cut the AC, and take the key out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then they notice that there's some cat marks on here, and they're all kind of confused about what was going on because they can't possibly believe it was a furry cat.
No. I mean, who would have thought it would be a cat?
Yes. All right. So now we're back. So now the mom, the redhead, is having nightmares.
Yeah.
All right. She sees some cool looking cat eyes that's creeping around. This scene was pretty cool with the cat eyes looking at her. And then she turns on the light, and it's a crazier thing. It's a doll.
Oh, that's scary. Those dolls scare the shit out of me every time I see them in the movie.
I know. Yes, there are a couple creepy ones out there.
Yeah.
So now we have cat vision. It's back, and this is when the cat burns down Red's house. Because they keep back in the day, brother. They would keep their house lit on like candlelight with fire.
Right.
And you just knock that shit down, and it'll light up your whole house. So the house gets all lit up. The mom tries to put out the fire with the pillow. Probably not the best idea. All right. And then she gets caught on fire. And of course, like we said earlier, the actress almost died during the scene.
Yeah, because I guess we don't do safety in Italy in 1981.
No, fuck that, brother. This is Fulci movies, brother. You go out there, you better feel it. All right. So during all this, Jill now looks at her photographs of the man's hand that got all cut up. She calls Miles and wants to show him the photo. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And Jill shows Miles the photo.
Yeah.
And Miles is like, listen, you have a theory of this going on. I know for certain that this cat is killing people.
Right.
I was like, okay, thanks, man.
Because he's psychic or whatever.
Yeah, he's medium there, Alison.
He's a medium, excuse me. A medium.
See the dead. Yeah, put some respect on our boy's Miles' name.
Exactly.
This guy almost played by Donald Pleasant. All right, come on now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, speaking of that, oh boy, let me see what it is, just so people don't freak out. The guy who played Professor Robert Miles was Patrick McGee.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Irish actor. All right, known for a bunch of cool stuff. He was in. Okay, so apparently he was known for distinct voice. He also appeared in numerous horror films and 2 Stanley Kubrick films. He was in A Clockwork Orange, fucking awesome, and Barry Lyndon, and 3 Joseph Lindsay's films: The Criminal, The Servant, all right, and The Gilio. He was a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company from 1964 to 1970. All right, so pretty crazy, man. Pretty good actor. I thought he did a pretty good job in this film.
Yeah, he was a pretty famous actor for the time.
Yeah. All right, so now, they're convinced that the cat now has been killing these people, and the cat, and Jill's convinced that the cat has killed those kids as well. All right, and Blonde, she still can't believe it too. She's like, "Why? It's only a cat. How is this going to happen?"
Right. Right.
So then we have Miles walking around his cool, creepy house again. He feeds the cat, and then I don't know if he like poisoned the cat, but he put the cat in a bag, and this is when he makes a noose and he hangs the cat.
Oh man, that sucked. I hated that. I mean, we watch movies where people they're like fetus bag deaths. We have people who are decapitated, and we have multiple rape scenes, and we have people that are. We did an entire month of cannibal movies where people were eaten alive.
Even alive.
But we watch one movie where a cat gets hung with a noose, and I'm freaking out. Like, no, can't handle that.
What the fuck? Man?
Yeah, I wanted this guy to die immediately.
I know. Miles is trying to get his friend, but no fear. After he hangs the cat starts freaking out, and he does his evil cat magic spirit stuff, and he goes into Jill's room and blows the whole places up. Windows going out, beds moving around everywhere. We see the dead hack and the dead cat kind of like reflection. All right. And then Miles is he's happy for a little bit because of what he's done, and then he sees the hanging cat reflection. He drops the light and almost puts out the fire, and then we see and then apparently there's like some sort of cat drawing now of the cat being hanged. All right, so the cat is not dead; it's only back into our world to haunt them again. So we have Miles wandering outside. We have the the Scotland Yard police officer goes over all the killings with the other cop. All very weird. These are all very weird accidents going on. The cops going over Jill's photography of the dead body. All right, and then they said the only thing they found in the grill was some cat hair. All right, and then she's like, "Well, I left my cat pictures at home." Very weirdly. All right. So now we have the Scotland Yard. What was his name? Gillis?
Gorley.
I could never remember this fucking guy's name. Gorley. All right, he's walking around, and then now this is when Miles now sees that he's being followed again by the dead cat vision. All right. So now the cop talks to Jill. All right. So now Gorley is talking to Jill. Okay, and he wants to see these cat photos that she is proclaiming that she has.
Sure.
And, he's going on a little bit. Hold on a second. All right. And he's going on saying, like, a cat did all this, you think, and, this is very, like, superstitious, and there's has to be more to this and stuff. All right. And, she says, like, tells the cop about how the cat could have done this, and he can't believe it. All right. And then Jill says, what if this cat has been invaded by a human mind? All right. And then Gorley is saying, I can't tell my boss that. He's going to think I'm back on the bottle. All right. So then
that's fantastic.
So then after that smooth line from our boy Gorley, they flirt a little bit, and then they start kissing. There you go. He's trying to crack a couple cases. Our boy Gorley is. All right. So now we have Miles is following the cat.
See what you did there, but yeah.
All right. All right. Says there's no way I can control it. Death itself. All right. Now Gorley is being followed by the cat. All right. And now Gorley gets attacked by multiple cats, and they're like scratching up his face. And then after they did that, they hypnotize him. And then some guy just runs him over. Even though the guy had plenty of time to move out of the way, he still just runs him over.
He just hit him anyway.
All right. And then Miles is screaming, I didn't want that. I didn't want to kill. And this is one of my favorite parts of the movie right here because it was funny. The guy who ran over Gorley was all like, man, the guy was drunk. I couldn't get out of the way. He like practically went into the car. And I was like, brother, like I watched the footage.
Yeah, no. You ran him right over.
You ran right into him. And this guy's like, I didn't fucking do nothing. He ran into me. I was like, come on, brother. We watched the footage. All right.
Wow.
So they're all thinking like, oh yeah, that Gorley, he was a drunk anyway. So that sounds about right. All right. And then like Jill was asking like, does it look like he was commanded to do that? And was there a cat there? And the guy's like, I don't fucking know. I didn't see no cat. All right. And then the blonde cop now gets a call, and there's another detective on his way over here now.
Right.
All right. So now Jill wants to go talk to Miles. All right. And Jill's like, you could have stopped him. All right. And then Miles is like, well, no, I buried the cat. I buried him right here. And she's saying, you saying he's dead? He's like, yes, the cat's dead. It's like the Gorley stuff must have just been an accident. All right. And then now Jill leaves through Miles's creepy house, which I put in my notes. All right. And then we see some cat prints on the floor. We see the cat's room. And then now Jill is now snuck back into Miles's house. And now she's going to every single room of his house. All right. We got an hour 30 over here, brother. We got to make sure it happens.
We gotta fill that time.
All right. So now she plays his ritual tape, the Halloween soundtrack over here. It was screaming.
Yeah, that was great.
All right. And she eventually hears the noise and she runs out of the room. Miles comes in here. He turns off his Halloween mixtape. He doesn't know what's going on. All right. And now Jill runs into the cat. and she starts taking a bunch of photos of it. All right, and then the cat disappears, and then it reappears. And then Jill breaks away, and she runs into Miles, and she says, "You lied to me." And Miles is like, "I didn't lie to you. I tried to kill it, but I wasn't successul."
On this scene, I I wanted to mention that you can tell at this point they had run out of money.
Yeah.
Like the cat disappearing effect.
Yeah.
They didn't even use like any filter or anything on the camera at all, any kind of special effect. Their special effect was we shot the cat and then we just moved the cat out of the shot and then shot it again.
Yeah,
like it just disappears like out of the shot. Like it's amazing. But yeah, I mean, it got the job done though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
So this is the whole scene where Miles is all like, "I tried to kill the cat, but I wasn't successful. Now the cat has taken over my mind." All right.
Mm-hmm.
The cat was filling off my hatred for people, for my hatred for that red mom. It knew my darkest secrets and it fed off that. And that's why it killed all those people. But now it has taken over my mind.
Mm-hmm.
And now it will make me kill people now too. I surrender to the cat.
Wow.
All right. It dominates me now.
That's awesome.
All right. Now Jill tries to get away, but then she gets attacked by random bats on here.
Mm-hmm.
This guy has like a really cool house, man. He has a cool, creepy graveyard. He has a cool, old school Frankenstein looking library. He has a cat that kills people, and he has bats. I mean, fuck.
That's like my goal in life is to have like a creepy monster movie mansion house. That's amazing.
And he had his own Halloween mixtape, brother. I mean, this guy has it all.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
All right, so now Jill tries to get away, but then this is when Miles like knocks her out. All right, so now Miles leaps in his car. I guess he's going to go get some bricks. All right. And now he goes to Jill's house or apartment and packs up her stuff to make it look like she left or skipped town. All right. The blonde cop's looking around confused. All right. And nobody has seen Jill around the village for a while. All right. Miles goes down. Not only does Miles have like all the stuff we just said, a cool Frankenstein room, a bat lair, graveyard, crazy cat, but he also has a dungeon lair too.
That's Well, what would you expect from somebody like this? From some dude like this? Yeah.
Golly, it pays to be a medium, I guess.
I guess so.
Look at all this cool shit. So he goes to his dungeon room. This is where he put Jill at, and now he's like bricking her up, like behind a wall. Pretty creepy.
Which is actually in the Black Cat short story. There's a person that gets bricked up behind a wall.
Interesting.
But anyway, so that is from the book.
Look, now did the cat do that, or is the cat controlling the mind?
The cat, no, the cat did not do that. But yeah, it is a similar concept though, as I pointed out, because I read the book.
So now we have the blonde. Oh, you read the book?
Yeah, it's a short story. I read it a long time ago when I was a kid.
How am I not surprised that you have read the book? So now we have the blonde cat and other detectives looking through Jill's room.
Yeah.
And they're going around saying, "Oh, I guess she just left town." But then the new detective's like, "Well, she would never skip town and leave these priceless photos behind."
Priceless.
All right. So now we have Miles. I know that's what he was like. Yes. These priceless photos behind. She would never do that.
No.
Right? So now Miles boarding up the room. They go visit Gorley. He is he's perfectly fine. No scratch marks on his face, no car damage. Just a couple days in the hospital. This guy's good to go, brother. It must have been all that Scotland Yard drinking he did.
Yeah, all the scotch.
Gives him all the scotch gave him healing powers on his face. Okay. This guy didn't have one scratch on him. I was like, what is going on here, brother? Okay. So now Gorley's telling the other detectives that he was hypnotized by cats, and the other guy's like, well, you must have been drinking. Okay.
Well, I mean, that's what you'd think, right?
Yes. And now they get up and they go look for Jill. Jill stuck behind the boarded wall. Now we have Gorley, the detective, and the blonde cop go to Miles's place. They talk to Miles. All right. And then Miles is like, oh, I thought you'd been hurt. And Gore's like, yes, I was only just hurt. And I'm like, no, you weren't. You got like fucking no bruises, no scratch marks. You're perfectly fucking fine.
There's nothing wrong with you.
What do they do? Pour fucking scotch all over his ass? I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, he asked if Jill's came by, and Miles like, yes, she said she was leaving to London. All right. And they ask about his cat. He's like, well, my cat's dead. That's what Miles says.
Oof.
All right. And he says, you're not looking for the cat. You're looking for Jill. And they're all like, we're going to look around your house. All right. All right. So now Miles is looking at them. He says, no look at all. All right. All right. And they're about to leave. And then they start hearing a cat. And then the shocked look on Miles's face was priceless during this stuff, right? Because they're all about to leave because they didn't find anything. And then right when they're about to leave, we hear the cats meowing. And the fucking look on fucking Miles's face was like priceless. He was like,
that was amazing. That was cool.
Like, the whole time he was walking around like, I'm fucked.
Yep, I can hear the cat. I'm fucked.
All right. So now they follow the cat sound all the way to the basement. All right. And they break through the wall that Gordon blocked her through. Was that in the book?
Yes.
Where the detectives were hearing the cat sound, that's where they broke through the wall. That's where they found the body.
Yep.
Gotcha. So now Miles is still in shock. I'm surprised he didn't have no fucking heart attack. They break the wall. The cat pops out. All right. And Miles is saying, I didn't want to kill anybody. I was forced to by this beast. All right.
Yeah. Basically, in the short... I was going to say, basically in the short story, if I remember correctly, there's like a murder, and then the person is bricked up behind a wall, and then they find the body because he accidentally walled up the cat too. So they hear the cat meowing, and they break the wall down, and then the cat's sitting on the corpse's head.
Yeah, there you go.
So similar.
So he says, he also says, the cat always hated me, and now he has won. All right. And then they stare at each other. All right.
European-like.
Very European. We hear some cat screams. We get some more RPG music to the cat wandering around in cat vision. And that's how we end The Black Cat.
Yeah. What'd you think of this?
That was all right. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was all right.
Pretty nice.
It's no conquest. It's no conquest, but it's a pretty good movie.
I would say like this movie is not probably going to be on my rotation, but I did like the old school Alfred Hitchcock feel of the film.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure that's what he was going for on his directing style.
I mean, if I were going to pick like, a Lucio Fulci movie to show to someone who'd never seen one before, especially one from the 80s, there would probably be 5 or 6 movies I would pick before this one.
Yeah, probably so.
But it's not bad. It's pretty good.
Yes. So, but yeah, I mean, this one did get praise for Fulci, and it kind of like helped out his career going into the 1980s. So, I thought it was a pretty fun one. But obviously, there'd be some films he would do later on this year that I was more entertained by. But everybody, this month is not done. We still got a lot more to go here on the Retro Blood because we are coming back with some more Fulci directed movies. Because we're going to be talking all about The Devil's Honey.
Yeah, I've never seen this one.
Me either.
So it's going to be great.
Next week here on the Retro Blood. It should be a pretty fancy one. I don't know. Is this the erotic one? I got to check it out.
Yeah.
But this one, yeah.
This is the erotic horror one. The erotic horror one. Yeah.
Yeah, we better get some Italian titties.
I was about to say, there should be a bunch of titties in this. Yeah, should be lots of titties in this.
Wild. The Retro Blood loves their titties. All right.
Titties and beer.
Titties and beer, brother.
Yeah.
But Alison, what Spellbound song should we play for all of our lovely podcast listeners?
Man, I was thinking about that. I was thinking of Hellbound. I think that's what we should play.
Hellbound, brother, because there was a lot of Hellbound stuff going on in this movie. We have the Black Cat taking revenge on all these teens and patrons of Miles and going to his deepest, darkest secrets of killing people and talking to the dead because he was definitely hellbound by the Black Cat magic.
Yep.
J.H.
You gotta watch out for those Black Cats.
J.H. Alison, James Kline. We will hear you next week on the Retro Blood 202, The Devil's Honey.
Woo. See you guys.
See you later.